What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on No Man's Sky. When we left off in the last episode, we actually got quite a few of the agricultural quests done. I still don't know what we're doing about this right here. Our ship still keeps clipping through the floor. But I did a couple of things off camera in between the last episode. I expanded our farming area, as you can see. We've got all of our sac venom over here, the gravitino balls over here. What is this one? Mordite over here. What is this one? I can't tell. I think that's the one that imitates the, can't think of the name, the crystal poop, basically. And this one is for the cryogeum, whatever the ice one is that you use for glass. So that's an easy way to grow those. Let's see. It tells me in here somewhere. Chrysogen. There we go. I knew it had something to cryo-y. And this was my first attempt at a windowed tunnel, because I actually had grown some of these to where we could make some glass. And I wanted to experiment with it a little bit and see what it looks like. I really like this, actually. We might go back through and classify some stuff. I'm not really sure. But these... What is this? Coprite plants, carrion root. They're the ones that give Mordite. So we needed 3 of those for the next agricultural quest, and I managed to pull that off. So now our next guy should be able to tell us what's going on. So, in case you're not familiar with what our quest setup is at the moment, this guy wants Temerium, I think, which is some kind of acid-based thingy, whatever. And I have to get the scientist level up to the point where he can teach me how to make insulating gel or something, because that's what this one needs. And this guy, however, we have what we need for that. Which was, like I said, it was the 3... By first sowing carrion root, we can feed the dicotyl with radiation from the root's Mordite crystals. So, I've planted some carrion roots. Once again, you have saved me from the dirty work. Thank you. Okay, we got dicotyl, a luminous 2-leafed flowering plant that thrives in radioactive biomes and can be cultivated to yield a frequent harvest, suitable for hydroponic indoor planting, ensure radioactive climate before planting outdoors. So condensium, carbon, and thaumium. I don't know what it gives off, though. So let's see what else he's got. I am confident that the Cacrassola would grow well, but the seedlings must be started under glass. If you don't have any, a scientist will provide a solution. I have the glass you need. Glass will be needed for seed trays that will be used to encourage the Cacrassola seedlings to grow. Okay, so I need to make 1 glass, I guess. Though, that's relatively unclear as to whether or not it's talking about, like, you're actually going to need glass above you, or how does that work? So, cuprite, that's what I was thinking of. So we get about 25, so much better than trying to hunt down animals. And the Mordite, we get quite a bit out of that haul right there. It gives us about 83. And then we've got the gravitino balls and the sac venom. So we could probably start doing some kind of like farming runs type of thing where we could sell off what we get. Because I've been told a lot that that's kind of a good way to make a lot of money. Like these are 8,000 a pop. These are 6. Now, the Mordite on its own isn't very valuable, but I was told in the comments of the last video that I did... Mordite and Coprite. I was told that the, if you get the scientist up to the point where he sells or teaches you a certain blueprint, I believe it was for lubricant. And there's condensium, which I'm going to need that for the other plant that we have now. I guess the lubricant sells for a decent amount and it only needs like 40 of the Mordite or something. So you can kind of combine those and make a good amount off of that stuff. Actually, I should be pulling from this, shouldn't I? Because that's my secondary... Oh, I guess not. I don't have anything in there. Alright. So, we're gonna need thaumium and a carbon in order to make... what was I making? Something. Where did I put the glass? Oh, it's gonna be in the blue one. It's in the blue container. Reminds me to look in the yellow container, which reminds me to look in the red container. Cool points if you get that reference. Alright, so let's see. Craft. Glass is just the chrysogen. It's actually pretty cheap. So that's easy. And let's go with this thing. Let's see if we can plant one of those. Okay, I don't want to do too many more than that. Oh, these are all empty. Okay, never mind. I don't know what that grows yet, so I don't know if I want to really mess with all that. But for now, let's go give him his glass and see what else he's going to give us. There's a ton to do with this agricultural guy. Like, way more than probably the other quest givers. I was actually a little surprised by that. I expected a little bit, since it was kind of so focused, this new update was so focused on the building, that I was expecting more from the construction guy. Alright, native to barren biomes and capable of withstanding long periods of drought, Cocrosola is a medium-sized edible succulent that responds well to cultivation, yielding a medium-sized occasional harvest. And it requires spadonium. I wonder if some of these that you're using, like you're using condensium, you're using spadonium, I'm wondering if that's how you get those plants. Because I feel like I remember somebody telling me at some point that eventually, like as you grew stuff, you could get a lot of these rare resources available too. Alright, so we'll put... I probably should have put one over here and then left these two for condensium. Oh well. I still can't do the albumin pearl, though I feel like that would be a really, really useful one, because if I remember correctly, albumin pearls are worth a lot. Oh, I didn't go talk to him again. I didn't find out what else he wanted. I just got excited. So we may have chrysogen, spadonium, and condensium in plant form at this point. I don't know for sure. That might be what those are for, though. Alright, I hope my request will not send you too far afield. The viridium I need is found only within mineral deposits found in the terrain of green star systems. My farmer's interest in fauna extremophiles grows. They have presented me with the sample of Vivalava, a strange living rock that grows in extreme heat. I am charged with fetching a mineral called viridium to feed its delicate root systems. I need 50 viridium. Okay, so that we definitely do not have. Now it says green stars. I'm almost... Wait, no. I was going to say I'm almost positive that I've seen it in other places, but that might have been... That might have been a different one. I think that started with an R, like rubium or something. So that may not be what I'm thinking. What was here? This was in the balloon. What was over here? What did I have here? I really don't recall. Wait a minute. Don't I have copyright somewhere else? Nope, guess not. I feel like condensium was over here. So I don't remember. Wait, no. Was that? I don't know. I don't even know at this point. I give up. I know the cryo was here. So, yeah, we have basically two things.
Incoming storm.
We have basically two things. I'm looking for Temerium, I think. Oh, there we go. So we get about 56, give or take, of the chrysogen out of those. So that's really useful. Because if you get 50 and 30 is a piece of glass, which is usually all you need for another area. Well, let's take a look here. We could do a full window with 1 glass and 10 iridium. So you know, you can make glass a lot easier with those plants rather than having to go. That's, I think, the end game goal is get plants for everything that'll grow for all this stuff, because if you can do that, you know, you won't have to go to all these far-flung systems and everything. I just want to plant for Rigogen or something like that, so I don't have to go looking so far. There is one for Temerium, but you need Temerium in order to make it. The puffball. So the Temerium would solve the issue that we're having with the Scientist, but I need Temerium first. So, you know, there's that. So we're looking for Temerium and Vervidium, or Viverdium, I don't know. Okay, so I was out exploring, trying to find some toxic planets, because I don't think we're going to be able to get the Vervidium or whatever, because we don't have a green, we can't get to the green star systems. So my objective was then to get to the Temerium, but we need toxic planets from what I can gather. So, ow, 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 ow. Not cool, guys. Not cool. Alright, there's one. How many do we have? We have a lot. I gotta start using the main guns, because I feel like they changed these to where they're way more effective now. Or at least they track better. Tell me I have some iron. That didn't really do much of anything. Oh well. Wait a minute. Tell me I didn't accidentally target the wrong guys. I hate it when that happens. It's like I'm trying to help. I hate it when I accidentally strafe the main ship. Okay, this is still like my primary best weapon. Come here. So that doesn't do too bad if I can hold a good pattern on them. Alright, we're gonna have to use my zinc. I didn't really want to use that, but otherwise I'm gonna get blown up. Because their own guys aren't doing a very good job of keeping these guys off of us, are they? Alright, there we go. Gosh, how many of these guys are there? This is too risky of a shot. I don't want to make that. Oh, I'm gonna have to make it. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. There's too many of them at this point. They're gonna gang up on me. I don't have anything to replace my shields with, so... Yep, one more hit ought to do it. There we go. Oh well. Okay, so our only other option might be... I don't know if that continues, if the battle keeps going or not. I need a death point. Okay, we're over there. So, I'm a little unclear. I haven't honestly died that many times. So I'm still a little unclear as to how this works. It looks like this is now over. Hello. Stuff, please. Where'd you go? There you are. Alright, there we go. So I still see a set of cruisers. How about over here? Are you guys under attack? But it doesn't seem like they're still fighting or anything. I could be just far enough away, but I don't think that's how that works. Okay, so obviously my... Oh. No, that's working. It said something was offline when I first loaded in. Maybe because I got back to my old stuff, it repaired it? That's weird. Alright, anyways. So, from what I can gather, the Vervidium or whatever, that does not seem to show up... Ooh, Temerium, there we go. Perfect. But that doesn't seem to show up on places that aren't in the green worlds, in the green star systems. The red ones, which is where we are, is Rubium. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, now that's tempting. We have a transmission tower. Is that on both of them? Oh, nice. I've been looking for transmission towers. So, while we're on our way over here, I'm going to go over why. I will give it a minute. So, transmission towers, from what I understand, now I watched this off an old video that... Oh, wait, hold on. No, I want to go to the transmission tower, not the trading post at the moment. There we go. So, the older... Whoa now. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Oh, gosh. It's gonna give me... If I didn't have epilepsy, that's gonna give me epilepsy. Which I don't have epilepsy, by the way. What is going on here, though? It's like I'm phasing through the world or something crazy. I'm just gonna let it do its thing and see if it can figure out what it's doing. Because I have no idea what it's doing. Jeez, that is really screwing with my head. And it's annoying. Alright, just line up on this properly and stop freaking out. It's like it can't figure out where it's going, so it's trying to go right and left at the same time. Anyways, the older video that I saw, it was pre-Foundation updates, so they may have changed some of the mechanics, because it was like using the signal boosters, or not signal boosters, but the older beacons where you use the, what were they called? Bypass chips? Oh, this is the thing that got shut down, by the way, not the main phase beam, it's one of the upgrades. Okay. I just saw that. Wait, no, I'm going to the trading post. Dag nabbit. Freaking A. I was trying to go to that one. I told it to go to the other one. How'd I end up over here? Oy. Anyways, what I was getting at was the video that I saw was you would use transmission towers in order to pick up signals that would ultimately, or could ultimately, lead to hyperdrive upgrades, which is what I'm looking for, because I need to be able to go to a green system. Or, well, any of them, for that matter. So, with that said, why am I going so slow? Took me off of the pulse drive, and now you're still making me wait 30 seconds. I don't understand. Sometimes the flight in this is just a little weird. Like, I still don't know why the autopilot doesn't take you out and around and then bring you straight down. I don't know why it tries to bring you through the atmosphere, because it can't be done, and it just slows you down. Because then every time you do that, it just pulls you back out again. Whoa, this is a weird planet. So anyways, I wanted to find a transmission tower, but I don't think, I know I can't get the Viridium, or whatever it is, until I get an upgrade to where I can go to a green star system, so I was looking for Temerium. I didn't actually know it came up on the scan. I thought it was another one like Rigogen, where you just kind of had to find it. And then, luckily, we also found a transmission tower, which might lead me to another hyperdrive upgrade, because I believe this leads you to crash sites, is one of its uses. And I'm guessing this is a noxious. Okay, so it's, apparently you will find Temerium on toxic, corroded, anything with this green, not like our radioactive one on our planet, but the green, like, toxic, not radioactive, is where you find Temerium. Though, like I said, I was just looking for basically a... What do I got? I got a hostile here. What are you doing? Nothing? Are you doing something or aren't you doing something? Make up your mind. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Yeah, so it's not radiation, it's toxic. A pulsing red light flashes on the console. Below it, a sequence of numbers repeats itself endlessly. Below, it's clearly a distress signal. Of course it is. Okay. Just in the interest of time, I'm just gonna real quick go through and do this. Okay. So the solution for this would be 257, if I'm right. And in case you didn't get what that was, it was basically the number plus the number below it. So the first one was 17, so it's 17 plus 16, and then that comes out to whatever it was, 33, and then you take 33 plus 32, and that's the solution for that one, just in case anybody was curious. Alright, so what did we find? We found a crashed ship. Okay, so that's what the transmission towers primarily do. Now, the only thing is, as far as I know, when they change to where now you place a signal booster instead of using the bypass chips, I don't think transmission towers are any longer part of the thing you can use to find it. Like, they're not on the list anymore. It finds other things. So you have to kind of be careful about that, as far as I'm finding that you just kind of have to look for transmission towers like I did, where you scan and you just find one. I don't know how much of this stuff I need. Oh, I need at least 100 to plant. You know what? Let's go. And I will say, I haven't done a lot of fighting on camera, but this, whatchamacallit, multi-tool that has the upgrade on it, the Omega that I did, this thing does a lot of damage. Seriously? Back off. Wait, did he live? Oh, he lived. Right after I said it does a lot of damage. Die. Attack me. Alright. Seriously? There's a lot of hostile animals around here. Okay, so like the sentinels, you know how long they normally took to kill? Watch. Dead. Dead. Where's the other one? Dead. This thing just mows down sentinels at this point. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. I'm gonna try and get at least 100 Temerium off of this planet. I can't find... There it is. But let's go to the crash site first. We can kind of collect stuff along the way for the Temerium. I mean, the Temerium is just going to be scanning and it's finding the this planet's resource, like the purple with the ingot-looking thing. But let's go to the crash site because... Oh wow, it's far away. Jeez, why does everything have to be so far away? But basically, from what I understand, if I read the tutorial kind of thing correctly, or watched it correctly, the trick to the upgrades for your hyperdrive basically come down to finding a crash ship through the transmission towers. And then once you've done that part, then it turns into going to the crash site, and not so much the ship, but there's usually a crash, or not a crash, but damaged technology around it. And at that point you can normally... Well, I won't say that it's supposed to be like a guaranteed or anything, because it's not, but it's basically you have a much higher chance, I guess, of getting some kind of hyperdrive upgrade type of thing. I don't know why this is so much of a problem, though. To get over here, it's like... It says 1 second, and then it pulls you back into the atmosphere, and now it's another 30 seconds. It's kind of like, dude, just take me around. I really don't like that aspect of the autopilot. That it does a very bad job of... It always wants to fly you into the atmosphere where it's not convenient. It's like it's going to take you a lot longer, rather than flying you out around to where you're right above the waypoint and then making you drop down. It always wants to, like, cut the corner too sharp. It's really kind of aggravating. Alright. And on the plus side, we might actually be able to use... Might be able to get a new ship. I don't know. Let's see if it's any better. Because, quite frankly, we don't really have a great one. Though, if this one's better, I would really hope I can repaint it. Because pink's just not my color. Alright, so we got a 21. Let's compare. This is 20. And there's a lot more upgrades, but it's just, yeah, I don't feel like going through the work of fixing it just for that one one slot upgrade. It doesn't seem worth it. Now, there you are. So here's the tech thing. Okay, so we did not get good luck on that one. There's sometimes, though... There it is. The debris. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. The pilot lies dead beside a short-circuiting control panel that sparks intermittently. Beside the dead robotic navigator hovers a sentinel that nudges the deceased lifeform almost as if to wake it. As I approach, the floating machine fires a warning shot in my direction. Search remainder of ship, enter peacefully in search cockpit, destroy sentinel in search cockpit. Search remainder of ship. Let's try enter peacefully. Sentinel opens fire, forcing me to defend myself. The ship's databanks prove adequate compensation for my wounds. Really wasn't what I was looking for, though. But anyways, that's kind of what I was told seems to be your best chance of getting hyperdrives. I mean, technically, I guess it's all random, but supposedly that has better odds. I don't know if that's changed in recent patches or whatever, but it was worth a shot. Anyways, I'm going to go around and collect some more of the Temerium. Hopefully enough that I can get a plant and then solve the quest. So probably 150 is what I'm going for. We shall see. Okay, so we are back at the base. Oh, gotta open this up again. Hope they fix that soon. Not really a big deal, but just gets a little irritating after a while. So we actually have quite a bit of stuff that I gathered. We have 180, give or take, Temerium, so we should have enough for both the quest and a plant. I also happened across... where'd it go? It's probably in here somewhere. There. I actually happened across the recipe for how to build this stuff, the Corollium, which is iridium and chrysonite. So that was interesting. I still haven't come across my upgrade for my hyperdrive blueprint, however, but we should be able to kind of move the scientist questline forward a bit. Yeah. We got this. Temerium presents the yep. 50. Alright, I was right. So he did 150. You have my thanks. Collaboration is the key to all scientific endeavors. Ooh. Acid. Okay. Dilute acid for high current generation in diverse power cells. Interesting. And the puffball will let us actually grow Temerium. Ah, you find me at a difficult moment. This insulating gel needs work. I based my formula on a language that is not my own, gleaned from a nearby monolith. Perhaps I missed something. Will you visit the site? Maybe you can find a clue that will resolve the confusion. The fumes hanging over my scientist's workstation are less noxious than before, but their equipment is covered with a thin layer of translucent slime. They have been working on an insulating gel, but are unable to complete the formula. Perhaps I can help. Sure. That's actually a relatively easy thing compared to what they've been doing of, like, you know, go here, do this, do that, do this. Actually, how far out is that? 13 on foot. I don't know why I keep saying my jetpack's depleted. It's fine. I guess I have a HUD glitch at the moment. I'd like to go... You know what? I know we're running a bit high on time, but I kind of just want to get this done because the insulating gel is what we need for two things, I think. I think one is... Actually, no, I take that back. I need lubricant, I think. No? Maybe it is insulating gel. I can't remember. I need something for the landing pad, and it was either gel or it was lubricant. I can't remember which, but I know I need the insulating gel for the quest for the construction guy at the moment. Ooh, this is actually kind of a really cool monolith. I see a screenshot coming on. Especially since, and by the way, in case anyone was wondering and they were wanting to take anything like a cool picture or anything like this, there's actually two methods you can do. You can do like this, where you hit the left D-pad and turn off your main display, right? But you can also actually go in and turn photo mode on, and it'll give you this thing about you're not going to get any notifications. And that's under the options menu. And then you actually get a completely HUD-less view, which is very convenient for taking screenshots. So you just go over to the options, turn that on, and I've done that a few times for some of my thumbnails when I remember it, basically. I would encourage you not to do that if there's like hostile animals or anything around that could attack you, or something of that nature, because like it said, you won't get any notifications, so you might get blindsided. I almost said side-blinded, but I should start making that thing. You might get side-blinded. Actually, in a way, that kind of makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? You know, it's from the side. The monolith looms over the landscape. Its polished stone facade hides the arcane knowledge of the ancients. A blue glow envelops me. I approach it, and my head fills with sudden understanding. My scientist's hunch was right. Knowledge imparted. Why, thank you. I am not given to superstition, but even so, I am eager to put some distance between myself and this enigmatic artifact. That's an interesting way to spell artifact, isn't it? Spidonium and Tamarium. Okay, and alright, so that's actually not that bad. What was it for the Tamarium? How much did I need for that? 40. And we have 129. So it would actually be smarter of me... I'm going to talk to the scientist and see what he says about, like, maybe the scientist part is complete, even though I don't actually have the insulating gel for the construction guy. We'll probably do that in the next episode. But the scientist part may be done because I've actually solved his problem. But it would be smarter of me to plant the puffball and then get the rest from the plant that we make, so that way I have a renewable source. Because I'm pretty much wanting to get a renewable source of all of these different resources or minerals, so that I don't have to keep going and searching all over the galaxy for different minerals and things. It's like I can just grow them. Like the chrysogen, spidonium, all this kind of stuff. Oh, and by the way, the one plant that we planted is... I think they are actually what I'm thinking they are, basically, is that when it requires that plant or that mineral, that's what it yields, basically. It's like all of the plants seem to have carbon and thaumium, and then whatever else is what it's going to give you. Which is an interesting system. I kind of like it. Alright. A good lubricant is vital wherever there are moving parts. If you don't like the smell, there may be a solution. Okay. The Korvax developed an olfactory blocker that will neutralize any odor. Their Korvax convergence cube may hold the key to its manufacturing. Then again, you can always hold your nose. Alright, so I actually happened across a convergence cube, so we're just going to go ahead and give him that. I fear I sent you on a wild goose chase. I found a way to neutralize the smell myself. Gee, thanks. Okay, so this is twofold. One, this is what you need for a landing pad. You need lubricant, but also this is what they were telling me in the comments about when they said take Mordite and basically turn it into lubricant and then sell it. There's no room for error when working with explosives. I could stabilize this formula with rubium, an element that occurs only in the rocks of red star systems. Do you have any? Actually, we do. Somewhere. It's in one of my chests somewhere. But before we do that, let me go ahead and use, so I don't, just so I make sure that I don't mess it up and use more than I'm supposed to. I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, so you can see here, this is condensium, which is what this plant required, and this is spidonium. So we have renewable sources of both of those now. We're still not getting renewable rigogen, of course. Where is the puffball? There it is. So the puffball, I don't have any carbon. Oh well, I'll plant that at some point. And then we've got more space over here for future plants, and we can always make more. Let me see if I can find my rubium real quick. There's Rigogen. Let's go ahead and throw the Spidonium on there. That'll give us a slot. I could have probably emptied other stuff, but I don't care. I know I have some of this stuff. This is gonna drive me nuts. I know I've got some somewhere. I only have 3 specialty item chests. Rubium. There you are. Oh, you know what, though? I don't know if he needs more. I think he said 50, didn't he? I didn't really look, to be honest. But that's fairly easy to come by because we can get to the red star systems pretty quickly. So if he doesn't accept this, then we'll just have to do it in another episode. Please be enough. Please be enough. Please be enough. Come on. Oh, it is 50. I figured it would be, because it usually is. Alright, so the next episode, in between now and then, I'm going to try and get some of the Puff Bluff. Where am I getting that from? It's another game. I think it's, oh, no, Witcher 3. That's where it is. Devil's Puff Bluff, or something like that. It's one of the grenades. Anyways, I'm gonna get the, I'm just gonna call it that. I don't even care. I'm gonna get the Puff Bluff planted. And, then I'm also going to try and get some more rubium. And so in the next episode, we should be able to do the insulating gel and move the construction guys' quests along, and we should also be able to make lubricant, which we might be able to make a landing pad finally, and so on and so forth, just little things like that. So we got like 3 things in mind for the next episode. So in the meantime, we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!